Hello, you guys. Happy Monday. How are we doing? I want to see so much energy in the chat. It's Monday. We're kicking off here with Launchpreneur, Launch Viral, Cordless. Tell me where you're from. I'm Melina. For those of you who don't know me, very, very, very close friends with Rachel. And now we work together. We're business partners in multiple different ventures. And I'm so excited for today's topic today. And I'm excited to just engage with everybody and chat. I love these masterminds. They're so great to kick off the week. They always give me I constantly just have my notebook and I'm taking all the notes every week between Rachel and all the guest speakers. Hi, Jen Barber. Drop your name. Where are you from? Huntington Beach, Dallas, Texas. Here we go. Awesome. I have my phone here on my live. I'm inspired to share more on my social media platform, but I'm really excited to be here. And what an amazing topic that we have today. Like literally not taking no for an answer. Drop it in the chat if you work in service, sales, or even if you just have a fear of people just telling you no. Right? Or maybe you can't say no. Raise your hand if you can't say no, if you have a hard time saying no, right? So that word, right? We're going to talk about that word. We're going to break down that word and we're going to have positivity around that word. Okay. It is no secret that 3 years ago, I pivoted into the network marketing space and I am a huge market mentor with one of the fastest growing luxury beauty brands called Money. And so I'm very familiar with sales. And I want to start off by saying that one of the reasons why I got passionate about money and sales was because it was something that I just felt like it was natural to me. Like I was good at it in a natural, organic way. And that's the most important thing, I think, when it comes to sales and communicating with people and talking to people. And if it doesn't feel natural or if it doesn't feel, it feels icky or feels weird, then you're going to get those no's, right? You're going to get those, what do they call it? The creeps in the mind games, the head games, right? We don't want to get to the head. So I hope that you have a pen and paper and that you take some notes on some of the tips I'm going to be giving you that I've learned along the way. I've read books, I do all the things, I listen to podcasts. So there's so many different, grasps of knowledge that I've gotten over the last 3 years. But I realized that even before 3 years ago, when I pivoted in the network marketing space, I have a background in health and fitness, 22 years. I have my own online fitness brand. And what I realized is that I was very successful at working with clients and getting them results in personal training and nutrition because of the relationship that I built with them, right? It wasn't the diet. It wasn't the workout. There's a million trainers that can put you through a good workout. But what I realized what was unique with me was that the relationship I was building. And so network marketing was like the perfect industry for me organically because I love connecting with people. So a few things I want you to write down is what kinds of relationships you have. Okay. So number one, relationships, because relationships are the most important thing when it comes to growing your business. It really is. Rachel talks about this all the time. She has relationships with influencers. She has relationships with brands, right? She's like this amazing middle person to marry everything together. Okay. So think about what kind of relationships you have. And then think about when you get told no. You probably don't have a good relationship built if that person is telling you no. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it could be just not yet. I like to tell my team not yet, right? Drop it in the chat. You're on my team. Where are you guys at? Happy Monday. So relationships, we're going to talk about relationships. The other thing is I want you to think about what your personality type is, right? Everybody has a different personality, right? Rachel always tells me I'm like a shot of espresso. She doesn't even need coffee when she just talks to me. Rachel, you on here? Hi. Personality. Where's your personality at? And everybody's personality matters and is unique. You don't have to be high energy for someone to tell you yes. You don't have to be, outgoing. I know so many successful people in sales and entrepreneurship that are introverts. Okay. So personality. Then I want you to think about verbiage. How do you communicate verbally? Then I want you to think about how you communicate non-verbally. And it's so funny because I was a comm major and I feel like I need to talk about this more often. It's like, it's all coming together now, right? I'm 40 years old. It's all coming together. I was a comm major. So, and then with those 4 things, I want you to think about like, where is your attitude at? You're like thinking attitude. Yes. Because attitude is a big thing it's a little thing that makes a big difference. Great. You ever hear that quote? So think about those things. So relationships, what's your personality? And again, this is specifically we're not taking no for an answer from you, right? From you. So what are you selling? Whatever it is you're doing, I want you to kind of think about these few things, these 5 things. So relationships, personality, verbiage. So verbal communication, nonverbal communication, and attitude. And I didn't get this from a book. I just was like really brainstorming yesterday. And these were the first things that came to my head. That's it. These are the first things that came to my head. So sales is everywhere. Everywhere is sales. So when people are like, oh, they come in like, I'm not. Do you shop? Yes. Do you shop every day? Well, not every day, but do you go to the grocery store? Why do you go to that grocery store? Is it convenient? Do you like the person that checks you out? Do you like the energy when you walk in the room? At Trader Joe's, like who loves Trader Joe's? I love shopping at Trader Joe's because I get there's a certain energy when I walk in there, right? Who loves Costco? Like sales is everywhere. Who loves Amazon? Oh my God, it's like click, click, click. It's like link, link, link. Someone posts convenience, things like that. So sales is everywhere. Everybody spends money every single day. So why do they want to buy from you? Okay, so this is where let's break down relationships. So if you have a really good relationship with anybody in your circle, let's just talk about inner circle, your inner circle. Let's first talk about inner circle. Your relationship with your inner circle, your mom, your sister, your friend, your best friend, maybe the people you see on a regular weekly basis, even like people like maybe in your gym class, like people that you see regularly. That's like inner, right? More inner. How do you communicate with them? Do they know what you do? Do they know what you sell? Do they know what you stand for? Right? If they don't know, that's the first problem, right? So are you communicating verbally what you do so everybody knows? Then are you communicating non-verbally? Are you excited about it? Maybe you're wearing a hat. Look at me, I'm wearing a hat and a sweatshirt. Maybe you're non-verbally, you're excited about it. Then your energy around it, your personality around it, all of those things matter, you guys. I mean, when you talk to somebody at, I don't know, Nordstrom, if somebody was like really excited about the pair of shoes they were showing you, like, oh my God, these shoes are like amazing. We're selling them all the time. They're so comfortable, blah, 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 blah. Wouldn't you be more inclined to like try them on and probably even buy them and try them? Because the person showing you the shoe was actually having a conversation with you. Their energy behind it was like so excited. And they were giving you reasons why it was going to either look good on you, or maybe it's a tennis shoe and it's going to like perform well, whatever the A, B, C, and D are. Okay. And I'll give you some of those examples too. You would probably buy the shoe. Who would buy the shoe at Nordstrom? I would. If I was like kind of browsing. Now, if I was at Nordstrom and I went in the thing and I was like kind of browsing and the person's like, hey, do you want to get a size? I'd be like, oh no, I'm good. Like whatever. Completely different outcome. So now write this down. What is your wow effect when it comes to what you're selling? But the first thing is the kind of relationship that you're building around they're not going to buy from you if you don't have a relationship with them. If you haven't communicated verbally and non-verbally, if you don't have a positive energy or vibe around you, right? Your attitude is bad. This is where the attitude comes in, your energy, attitude, okay? So I really want you to focus on all of those things. And we're going to do some like role play too, like towards the end of my spiel here. I want to do like some examples. I want to help you guys with some tangibles and like whatever it is that you do or sell. But I want you to think about what your wow effect is. I talk about this with my team all the time. You can't just throw up a graphic for a sale and think someone's going to buy it. They're not. You know, one of the products that we talk about a lot is this oil. It's Rejuvenique oil, right? I talked about it so much when I was pregnant. My daughter came out with a full head of hair. People that don't buy from me, that aren't my customers, were like, oh my God, making jokes like, oh my gosh, it's because of all that oil that you use. They know. I have a positive relationship with my audience. I have a positive relationship with the vibe that I was putting out on social media, that when my daughter came out, people were bringing it up that she had so much hair because of the oil, right? Jokes aside, but like, those are yes people, right? Or not yet people. Okay. They're aware of everything I do, and they have a positive energy around it. They have a positive like influence. Influence is a really good word. So you have to give them a reason why they should connect with you, right? If you're getting no's, you're not giving them a reason why they should connect with you and therefore why they should buy from you. Agree. Teaching Ava with this Girl Scout cookie. She's doing so well and she's surpassing her goals, and it's amazing to see. It came out of her shell last week. She got sick again and she's super. Oh, what Melina is so true. Go girl. Yeah. So I love seeing Girl Scout cookies at the supermarket store. And when they come up to you and they're like so cute and they're like, will you buy my, like, how can you say no, right? So that's a really good example. So what do you give them a reason of why they should buy from you and why they should connect with you? Drop it in the chat, you guys. And then I also want you to write down what defines your brand. And if you don't know what, like, value, what gives you value, what defines your brand, what gives your brand value. And if you don't know, then that's a problem. If you don't know what you're selling, like the value behind what you're selling, you're never going to build a relationship. You're never going to connect with anybody verbally, non-verbally for sure, right? Because you're going to have this weird energy, right? The attitude's going to be weird. So if you don't know the value behind what you're engaging with, because it's engagement, right? Then you're going to get no's. Okay. Then the last thing, what is your goal? And you need to break it down. And that just sounds so simple, right? Like, what are your goals? What are your goals? I'm sure people ask you in your job, other jobs, in school, and all the things, New Year's resolutions. What's your goal? Where you write down in the beginning of a month, it's the beginning of March, right? You guys were closing the first quarter of the year. Where are you at, right? What is your goal? But you got to break it down. So if your goal is to sell a Rejuvenique oil, what is your relationships? What are your relationships like? What is the value you're showing about this Rejuvenique oil? Just giving this as an example, it could be anything, right? What is your verbiage about it? And what is your nonverbal verbal communication about it? And are you doing a good job reading the room? Let's talk about reading the room. Okay. So when you go to an event, a networking event, let's say, or even like coffee with a friend, or you should be able to read the room. When I mean read the room, I mean whether you're sitting down with one person or you're sitting down with 10 people, you can kind of feel the energy. And if you don't know how to do that, work with someone who does. I will literally teach people how to read a room. Because I can read a room, I can walk in and I can be like, oh, there's weird vibes here. Or there's, oh my God, there's such good energy here. Or like, oh, I want to talk to her. Or like, when you like, it's like the lunch table, like who do you sit with? Like there's always someone that you feel like you could vibe with more. That's the nonverbal communication and the energy, right? So go where you feel comfortable. Go where you feel confident, right? Where you can talk about what you do and who you are and what the value is that you're bringing to that conversation. So you have to learn how to read the room. Okay? Reading the room is really, really important when it comes to getting no's or yeses, because you're getting no's. I'll tell you why you're getting no's. You're getting no's because you haven't built a solid enough relationship with the person that you're talking to. Okay? You're not bringing the energy that that person needs. You have to know what they need, right? You're not communicating to their needs the right way. And sometimes you are. Okay, let me back up. Sometimes you are, but you're just getting a no, and it could be a not yet. There's so many different reasons. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys follow Daniel G. He's like
recording in progress.
He's like really extreme, right? He's like really extreme when it comes to why you're not getting no's, right? And then I'm like a little scaled back from him. I'm the one that's like, you're still gonna get some people, but I always say they're not yet. In our industry, we say they're not yet. Because if you're building the relationship and you have the energy around it, and there's so many cues, and I'm gonna give you some examples of things that you can say where you'll get that yes, right? So does anybody have an example of a no, a hard no, so I could I could break down that scenario for them? Think about it, drop it in the chat so we can bring you up here. Melina, I love how real you are. My Wi-Fi in the store is a little funny, so if I look like I don't understand, it's just cutting out. Thank you so much, you guys. So let's talk about your goal. So if your goal is to hit a certain, I don't know, you want to hit a certain number of sales in a month. Instead of focusing on the number, right? The number and the this and that, I don't want you to focus on that. I want you to focus on building the relationships and your verbiage around your relationships. Okay. So your verbiage needs to be defined as, you might want to write this down. Your verbiage needs to be defined as who you are, what you're trying to serve. Okay. The energy behind it. I was at a nail salon. This girl came up to me and was like, oh my gosh, I love your energy. She heard me on a phone call. She's like, oh yeah, I love your energy. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. She was sitting next to me, doing nails. And she goes, I go, what do you do? She goes, oh girl, I'm an accountant. I'm like, don't say it like that. You're an accountant. I'm like, what if I needed an accountant? What if I needed an accountant? You know what I'm saying? And this girl, I'm an accountant. I don't want to hire her as accountant. She doesn't sound positive. She's a hard no for me. But what if she was like, oh my gosh, I'm an accountant and I'm here in Las Vegas. Do you need help with anything? I would be like, oh my God, can I get your number? I not right now, but everybody needs a good accountant, right? So people aren't buying shampoo for me, you guys. There's thousands of other people selling shampoo. People aren't buying shampoo for me because not because of the shampoo, to be honest with you. They're buying shampoo for me because of the relationships, because of how I talk about the product, because how I bring value to the product, because the energy behind it, I'm excited about it when I talk about it, right? And I know how to read the room. And again, people, you have to read your room on social media. Do you know your audience? Do you know who you're talking to? This gets into like all that social media training, like find your niche, like gravitate those followers. But even if you don't know that, how many followers you guys have? Let's say we're talking about it on social media, right? If you do those 5 things, you're going to get sales. Like I promise you, you're going to get sales. I had a call with my team last week and we were talking about even recruiting, right? We're working with people. In our industry, we work with so many different people and we want to bring people into our network to work with us, to grow, right? We don't work for Nordstrom's, we work for ourselves. We're our own sales team. We're our own network, right? And one specific person was like, oh, like, you know, I keep following up with people and they just keep telling me like, no, no, no. And I'm like, well, what's the verbiage like in those conversations? Like, how are you talking about it? Right? What kind of relationship? If I go up to someone and I'm like, hey, you want to work with me? And I'd be like, do what? But if I'm like, oh my gosh, how are you? What is your, what's going on? I saw you post on social media. You look like you just went on an amazing vacation with your family. How's it going? How's work? And that's it. Maybe it's someone that I think would kill it at what I do. Maybe it's someone I really want to work with. I love her vibe. I'm not even talking to her about selling shampoo. I'm just building that relationship with her. Right? And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what, are you working? I see that you're a mom. Like, I'm telling her things I see. I'm telling her things that I like about her, right? And then she comes back to me like, oh my gosh, I'm not working right now, blah, blah, blah. Well, I would love, then you can go ahead and start planting seeds, right? We talk about planting seeds a lot when it comes to sales. Sometimes with sales, you can't just go in hard. You have to plant seeds, right? Planting seeds will get you yeses. Planting seeds grow flowers. Planting seeds grow eventually. If you're not planting seeds, you're never going to grow anything. So if you don't want to get no's, if you want to get more yeses and not no's, you need to plant seeds. So how many seeds are you planting? Drop it in the chat. How many seeds are you planting? It's so important to know how many seeds that you're planting. Okay. So people don't care what you have to say until they know you care about what they have to say. Yes, planting the seed daily. All right, who wants for me to kind of like help them in a scenario, in a situation with their business? Somebody's raising their hand. Let me go. Resma, did I say that right? How are you? Let's go ahead and unmute her. Oh, I just love these Monday masterminds. The people on here always have can we unmute? Ask to unmute. There you go. I think you can unmute. Hi, how are you? So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the question that I had that I posted earlier is I sell upcycled clothing.
Okay.
And so one of my main issues that I get, one of my no's that I have is my sizing.
Okay.
So a lot of my items are one of a kind items, and my main source right now, we do pop-up shows and vendor markets and things like that.
Yes.
And my not yets that I usually counter with are custom orders and things that are kind of similar. So like if I have, jackets that I do concert t-shirt backings and things like that, is, what other concert, what other bands do you like? Things like that.
Got it.
If they like a Johnny Cash jacket, whatever.
Cool.
So some of the issues that I get is, the instant gratification. They want something that they can take right now. They don't want to wait, 2 weeks on a jacket. Now, not everybody, we do a lot of custom orders.
Yes.
Especially during the holidays, things like that. We do send a lot of people to our website. We just kind of redid our whole website.
Okay.
In the last, so, we rehashed our website to an e-com website. That way they don't have to hop around to Etsy, things like that. So my main thing is, how can I kind of remove that instant gratification, and bridge that gap from the no's to the yeses with that?
What is the downtime of the because it's custom ordered or whatnot? What does that gap time look like? Is it like a month?
No, I mean, so with the way that the website is now, and I've kind of shifted gear. I mean, it's just me.
Right,
you
totally.
know, making these shirts. So, you know, I mean, I can get something out within a week, within, you know,
Oh.
within a couple of weeks. Really, it depends on how
Okay.
many orders I get. So, you know, I mean, I can get something. I mean, I can get something done within a week with 10 days.
But you're feeling like they say no because they don't want to wait. So, right? Am I correct? Okay. So Brianna actually just wrote, and I'm going to piggyback on this. I would just focus on the added value that outweighs the instant gratification. So you have to focus on building that relationship and keeping that relationship. Right. Like, do you get on the phone with them at that point? Or are you just answering emails? Like maybe with those people, you have to nurture different people different ways. And I understand that it's just you. And I don't know, whenever you're able to get a little bit more help, I think that'll help. But nurturing, depending on your demand, but nurturing that relationship, because if I was placing an order with you, I'll tell you what I would, if I was placing an order with you and I really wanted this hat, right, for my team, I wanted you to customize it for me, and you're like, it's going to take me, and you are checking in with me, and I was like, oh man, and I go to continue and look somewhere else. But if you were like, love to get on the phone with you, I appreciate your business. I love that you I'm grateful that you want to use my brand and you love my designs. Like this is where you really have to nurture that relationship more. And if you do that, you go out of it's like the white glove service. Like that's why people shop at Nordstrom's. There's a good return rate. They have good customer service. Like they have that wow factor. What is your wow effect to those customers? Because you have a good product. It's not the product. It's the relationship building piece and the wow effect. And that's why I really want people to that's what I really want people on this call today to grab from what I'm talking about, because it's not the product on why they're telling you no.
Yeah. It's the fortune in the follow-up.
Yes. It's the follow-up. It's the follow through. It's the in-between gap, right? Mm-hmm. We've had a mascara out of stock for I don't know how long, but my team is still communicating with those people. We're still, engaging about, oh my God, but in the meantime, try this. In the meanwhile, oh my God, have you tried our lip oils? Or have you, there's stuff that you can do. Maybe you send them a little, I'm going to put together a little something special for you because you have to wait 10 days. I really appreciate it. Send them a follow-up email like that you're working on their design. Keep them excited. Keep them excited about, take them through the process of, because you're customizing something. Like, that's amazing.
Right.
Like, imagine I'm a nutritionist. Imagine if I just gave someone a diet and then never talk to them until their next check-in.
Yeah.
They'd be like, so that's going to really set you apart. So I think, did that help? I think that you need to focus on, the in-between. And I think that you need to focus on your wow effect. Your wow effect without your product. The wow effect on, did I say your name right? Resma? Is that right?
Reshma.
Reshma. Yeah, Reshma.
Oh, thank you. That
really
was awesome.
Pretty name. And where are you from?
Dallas. From the Dallas area.
Dallas. Cool. Yeah. Well, I drop your link and in the chat, and people can check out your designs, right?
Awesome. Thank you so much.
One thing I taught Ava is to send a thank you note to her customers from Girl Scouts. Dude, Girl Scouts are like the best salespeople. I love it. Her troop leader said it was so rare and she never had someone do that, and her daughter. So 100%. Thank you notes, dropping little things in the mail. We have VIP customers in my industry. VIP. Who on here wants to be a VIP? I want to be a VIP. I want to be on a VIP list. I don't want to wait in lines. I want to be on all the sales. I want to go to the stock sales at what's it called? Oh my gosh. The sales in New York City when they put everything on major markdown. What's that called? Rachel knows. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in on all the tea when it comes to things. Who wants to be a VIP? But showing your sample sales. Yes. Thank you. Showing your appreciation is so important. Are you dropping them a text out of nowhere? Are you sending them a free gift that's cost you $3? I don't know. Like literally, that's where, convenience, of having someone, even an assistant with you, helping you. Where is your value with your brand? You have to know, you have to create that. And it's okay if you don't, like, this is why we're talking about this. Like, I want to help you guys learn how to read the room. I want to help you guys create your wow effect in your way, right? Not my way, not Rachel's way, but your way. I want to help you, learn how to connect and build better relationships. I mean, sometimes we're just like, even at the line at Starbucks, right? You're in the line at Starbucks and maybe just like doing a nice gesture for someone, like to show, like introduce yourself, like buy the person behind you coffee. And then you get to engage in a new conversation. I mean, if everything about me is my brand, I have a fitness brand, I promote health, I promote fitness, and I promote beauty products. And I link it all together. And I had to really figure out how to dial all that in so it didn't seem like I was doing a bunch of different things. I use clean products because they were healthy for me, right? And I bring it all together. So everywhere I go, I want people to know that about me, right? If I'm at Starbucks, I'm ordering something that's lower calorie and healthier for me. I'm customizing my drink. And I'm going to have a positive engagement interaction with that barista, whether she gets my Instagram or I see her ever again or not. That's what I'm going to bring as a customer to me buying that coffee. I want to leave a positive experience. I want to have a positive experience even from the person I'm buying from, right? Like, who goes to line at checkout and the person is just like, you could tell they're just not having it, right? Sometimes you have to kind of reverse psychology, reverse the communication and bring it to them. I was at Sephora one day buying a makeup product and I was talking to the girl and we started talking and what do you do? And I was like, oh, well, I actually, do this, this, and that. And I work for, Monat. And I was telling her and she bought hair care. I was in Sephora and she bought hair care for me. I sent her a link later and it was amazing. We had and I bought something at Sephora, but like we had this amazing experience together where we had fun and we created positive energy and we had amazing communication, both verbally and non-verbally. We had positive attitudes, right? So, oh yeah, totally. We were playing poker. You're like giving them money and the dealer's like, blah. Yeah, we live in Vegas. So Gina, I feel you on that one. I don't gamble a lot, but totally, right? So there's not one right way to get the yes, let's just say. But I really believe that those 5 things that I went over with you, relationships, what's your personality, understanding the kinds of relationships you have, personality, your verbiage, your non-verbal communication, how to read the room, what's your wow effect? Do you give them a reason why they should buy from you? Right? You give them a reason. It's a really good one, you guys. It's a really important one. Do you give them a reason? Like, why should they connect with you? You're not going to connect with the person who's blah. Right? You're not going to connect with the person that's like, I'm an accountant. You're not. You're just not. Okay? What defines your brand? What value are you bringing your brand? Why do I want to do a custom order through Reshma? Right? Or just go on Etsy and just randomly find someone. Now I know that's what she does. Right? Another one I skipped over. If you know what the problem is that you're trying to solve, right? When someone's coming into Nordstrom looking for a pair of shoes, they're looking for a pair of shoes. Like, like you're walking through the shoe. And then the other people, oh, I'm just browsing. Who on here has been like, oh, I'm just browsing. I'm just looking. Right? Yeah, you're just looking, but there's a reason why you're in the shoe section, right? So in my industry, everybody who on here washes their hair, drop it in the chat. Everybody washes their hair. Everybody in the world washes their hair. Even bald people. Do something. Okay? So what is the value that I'm going to bring? Why do they want to buy from me? Why do they want to work with me? Why do they want to connect with me? Why? If you can't answer that, I know why people want to work with me. You want to know why people want to work with me? I have a positive attitude. I say what I'm going to do. I do what I say, right? I genuinely love connecting with people and building relationships. I care about them. I care about every single person I work with, and I care about every single person that I connect with, right? I 99% of the time I like to have a positive attitude. I try to see the positive outcome of things, right? So I know what I can offer them. If you don't know that, if you're like, I don't know, if you're not confident, ooh, I can't believe I didn't bring this word up sooner. If you're not confident about what you do and why you're doing it, nobody's going to buy from you. So if the person's not saying yes to you, you're not confident. You're not confident about what you're bringing to the table. Because I could be like, I would love for you to just try this just this one time. Eric Worre says that all the time. Just this one time. I'll never bother you again. Try it just this one time. If you still don't like it, please let me know. We have 30-day money back guarantee. I know when I go to Nordstrom, if I buy the pair of shoes and I don't like them, I can bring them back. So she sold me. Money back, right? That's not why they're not buying. It's not the dollar. It's never the dollar, you guys. So write that down. It's not the money. When people say it's not the money, that's not why. I want to sit down and have a conversation with you, and I want to talk about, do you know your value, right? Do you know what your wow effect? Why should they buy from you? That's really what it is. Why should they buy from you? Okay. Anybody else? This is fun. This is so fun. Who else can I help today? Oh, I know someone there. Gina, Brianna, where are you at? Who else is on here? We have Kelly on here. Jessica. I see all kinds of people. Paige, Mel, Tiana, Erica. Hi, you guys. We have some time. Would love to bring someone else on here. We can role play. People can learn from you. Maybe an incident where you had a no, or you hesitated, or maybe you didn't approach someone because the no is the fear. It's the head games. Who has head games? I get head games sometimes. I'm not perfect, you guys, at all. I get head games all the time. I think one of the biggest things in my industry is people have a negative stigmatism a lot of times around network marketing companies. And my team is changing the game on that, and the brand that I work with. The negative stigmatisms around network marketing companies are fading fast. I don't hear them a lot, but you do get people that hear them still. And that's a huge, you got to really know your product. You have to know your relationship. You have to know your verbiage when it comes to that, right? And I think a lot of people that in general, even when they're trying to just sell something online, it's almost like a mask, because like if they don't get the engagement, it's like, okay, where it's like when you're face to face, the hard nose, like, ooh, like it eats you up, right? It eats you up. You're like bummed out. But you also have to practice. You have to practice. You have to practice your delivery. You have to practice your communication. You have to practice, what you're selling. Like it's sales. You have to practice. You go through training at Nordstrom. You go through training for Amazon. And those people don't even show their face. They just work behind the scenes, right? You have to go through training. Any company you work for that you're selling something, you got to go through training. It's no different when you work for yourself as an entrepreneur, but you have to do your training yourself. You got to connect with Rachel. You got to get on these masterminds. You got to read books, right? You got to plug in. Are you doing that work? All right, let's see. Anybody else? Sent one of my friends a custom necklace for her cat and passed away. That's so sweet. Yeah, birthdays, things that happen that are bummed out. I have a customer, right now, and her husband's going through cancer, and like I check in with her. It's so important to have that, and that's genuine, right? Nurturing. Thank you so much. Here is my website. Yay, Gina, that's the word. Something. Okay, I saw that. I adore you, Melina. You're a gem. Thank you, Katie. Does anybody else want to role play? Everybody else gets yeses all the time. All the time, you guys all get yeses. I want a scenario of a no. One more. Come on, one more. And we'll wrap it up. You guys can connect with me anytime. You can follow, chat with me on my social, or I can drop my email. It's Melina at the McCord List. So many fun and exciting things happening this year. I want to thank Rachel for having me come on here and talk about this. She's always like hyping me up, saying how I'm so good at with the no's. Because I when someone does tell me no, I'm like, I always come back with something still positive, right? I'm still going to tell them something positive. I'm sorry that you felt that way, and I would love for you to try it again. I would love for you to have a better experience. It really is cringe when people approach things in a cringe way. People have that cringe mindset, right? I was in a hair salon, one of the bread and butter of the company that I'm partnered with is hair care. And I was in a hair salon, and I bring my products, and the girl was phenomenal. I love this. I'm building such a great relationship with her. And she goes, wow. And I was talking to her about Monat. Of course, she said she's heard of it. People have approached her. Multiple people have approached her because hairdressers are such great business partners for us. It's a no-brainer for them to have this stream of income of these amazing products that they can sell outside of the chair, right? And she was just telling me all the negative experiences that she had with people that had approached her. And I'm like, well, I wanted to know more. I wanted to know more about that, because I never want people to get that from me. So I asked her, I said, what was the approach? What turned you off? I asked questions. Are you asking questions? Right? I ask a lot of questions. And you know what she said to me after we were talking for a while? And she did my hair, she cut my hair, she washed my hair, she colored my hair. I was there for an hour and a half, maybe. She's like, my gosh, she's like, it sounds like you're doing amazing things, and you're completely different from the people that I talked about. I'm like, everybody's completely different. So you need to give them that positive experience. They're going to cringe and they're going to say no if you're not giving them that positive experience. And that comes with your relationship building skills, your personality, your attitude, your nonverbal communication, as well as your verbal communication, right? I'm telling her we're doing all these events, and, we're going to be doing collab opportunities, and we want to be doing, we want to work with different stylists for photo shoots and help promote and elevate their business. I want to bring her more people in her chair. I'm bringing value to people that I work with. I'm not just getting them to work with me for nothing. I don't want to just work with anybody. And then I would just knock on doors. I want to connect with the right people who want to work with me. So you should be wanting to connect with the right people that you want to serve. Right? I don't want to work out with someone who's going to show up to their personal training session and is going to have a negative attitude. They complain the whole time about their workout, right? They don't follow the diet. They don't care about the value that I'm bringing them. I don't want to work with them. I'd rather not have them as a client. I'm going to tell them no, right? So what are you putting out there to attract the right person? If you're getting no's, what are you putting out to attract the yeses? You got to give value. I'm telling you, it's the wow effect and the value that you bring. Those are the biggest things. You'll never get a no. You'll never get a no. Hi, Tiana. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was helpful. Nobody else wants to give an example? Role play. I love role playing. Erica, Brianna. Brianna's a friend, and I work with Brianna. So we have a fun and exciting meeting today that we're going to get a yes on. I already know. Mel, anybody else? Oh my gosh, this was so great, you guys. Oh, Jen Barber raised her hand. Jen Barber, yay. How are you? Go ahead and unmute and bring Jen Barber up. Hi,
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to see your beautiful face this morning
You
and to
too.
see everyone else. This is always like the best way to kick off my week. And I look forward to these calls every Monday morning.
Same.
So I'm so excited to see you all. Sure, like all of you, I get at least something out of every call, and it's really motivating and encouraging. And then it's just so great to connect with other people who want to support each other and lift everyone up. It's the best. It's truly the best meeting of the week. Almost.
Good. That's happy. I'm sure Rachel loves to hear that too.
So I thought I would jump on here and ask your thoughts on, for those of you who don't know me or don't know about my business, I have a branding and digital marketing company. So we work a lot with clients on creating strategies around whatever their needs are. So I work with a lot of apparel brands or companies in the fashion industry space. That's kind of like my wheelhouse of expertise, a lot of my background's in that industry. And then I have some clients that fall outside of that, but mostly it's like fashion industry clients. So we create social media campaigns, we do social media management, email marketing campaigns. We even help update the website if need be.
Very service driven. So it's very, sale, everything is
very
sales.
service driven.
Right.
And so one of the hurdles I have encountered in my space over the last few years, it kind of started at the beginning of the pandemic when everyone's like budgets and everyone was in limbo, everything kind of went in-house, and marketing's always the first thing that gets cut. Usually it's seen as an extra, although if any of you are in the industry, you know, if you have strong marketing, it acts as a sales for your brand, and you don't need necessarily a sales team because your marketing is acting as that sales team. So one of the hurdles I'm facing in my industry is there are now so many companies that are offering it at such a low price.
Right.
So, for example, basic social media management, and that includes stories, community engagement, and strong visuals. The lowest price package we have is $750 a month, which if you're investing in your marketing and you have someone who's executing the brand and they're engaging with your community, that's a bargain.
Totally.
I mean, there are lots of companies who charge 5 times that to do the same thing. However, there are newer companies that are utilizing AI and then also outsourcing. And so I'm seeing a lot of, because I tune into like what the market is so much, there's a lot of people offering it for like $100 a month. So because clients are like, not my clients, but in general, anyone who's potentially my client is also seeing, well, I could get the same thing for like $100 or $200 a month. Why would I pay someone significantly more? Like it comes from them, and I understand removing myself from my position, and I see the value. They are budget conscious, or whatever their reason may be. Like generally, if you can get the same thing for significantly less, why not?
Right.
So hearing what you had to say today about value is actually really helpful, and it's something me and my interns have been focused on, as far as really starting to create some content to share on our platforms of like what you get with an agency versus like in-house or outsourcing.
Totally.
So
you're
curious.
You just answered your own thing. You have to create value around that. So are you calling yourself an agency?
We are.
Yeah, I think that verbiage is so huge. Like when you say things like we're an agent, we're a boutique agency, we specialize, use the word specialize, we are trained exclusively in, I don't know if you want to write some of these things. I mean, I don't know if that's what you're using or you want to write some of these things down, but like we're exclusive in this. Like, okay, why would somebody hire me as a trainer when there's trainers that charge like $30 an hour? Like I charge a minimum of $150 to get on a call with me, right? So like, to put me through a workout, like that might seem so extreme to someone when they can go take a class for free. There's people doing free yoga at the parks in LA. There are people doing free everything, right? Or like same thing with shampoo. You have to think about that. Like think of a tangible product, right? Like I could go spend $8 on a bottle or $7 on a bottle of Pantene. I don't even know what it costs, right? Or go to Costco. It is, but why would they want to spend $40 on this shampoo? So definitely like create the value and the relationships. And I would say, it's not your price. Again, it's not your price. It's your outreach. It's your wow factor. Like we can even like strategize, like, cause I do work with you outside of that as well, like verbiage around that, because I think it goes hand in hand too. Like verbiage is so huge, like huge. When I tell people that I've done something for 22 years and I specialize in A, B, C, and D, like that's why they want to hire me, right? If that's relatable to what they're doing. So like, what are you offering that maybe you say that nothing is automated. This is all hands-on. I don't use AI. I research all the systems that are out there. You should say that, right? So so there's another here. Everybody write this down. All the reasons why write down all the reasons why someone would say no. Right? Write down all the reasons why someone would say no to you. If you have answers to all of those, you have like a rebuttal to all of those, you'll start winning. You should know all the reasons why someone will say no to you. You should know that. And you have to have solutions for those questions. Yeah, 22 years.
That's so good. And that's so true. I think sometimes like I can get caught up on because I have and the other thing is like, I have years of experience doing this.
Say that.
Proven success.
Say that. You're already selling me. You know what I mean? Say that.
I mean, it's not like we're just coming out the gate as a brand new agency that's like, we can do this for you. Like I actually have numbers that back up everything we do.
And say that. You never want to come across desperate either, right? When I see trainers online that are like 50% off, I never have 50% off my services.
Yeah.
You either know my value or you don't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you have a product, when you create value, you're a VIP. You get access to the sale. Do you see the marketing there? You get access to the sale. You're my VIP. Only VIP. Because you're retaining them. That's called retention, right? I had a customer, a client come to me. She was my client for 3 years. Okay. First of all, I don't want to have clients for my whole life. Like I want people to know how to balance their diets and have like this amazing, thriving, healthy lifestyle on their own. I would always tell my client that. I hope I'm not your trainer in the next year or two, unless it's just like fun maintenance. And that's a whole different story. Right. So this one specific client, I'll end with this and we'll wrap it up. But she was, she's in a great physique, great place, but I haven't trained her in about a year or whatever. And she messaged me. She's like, I need you to kind of help me redial in my diet again. I'm like, I'm sure, no problem. Right. We get on the phone. I'm talking to her and I'm telling her, she's like, I'm like, tell me what you've been doing. Tell me how you're feeling. All the questions that I know how to do and my expertise as a nutritionist. And again, it's not studying the macro protein, carb, fats because I know how to read clients and that takes years of experience. Right?
Yeah.
I know how to help people with their diet, not because of macros or calories. It's everybody's so different. And any nutrition client that that you meet of mine will tell you that, right? Okay. So anyway, I was talking to her and I'm like, this is what I'm seeing that's wrong. Based on what you're telling me, this is what I think is wrong. You do this, you need to move this around, blah, 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 blah. She's working out really early in the morning now pre and post workout meals have a huge effect on your results. So we're talking, right? All the things. And she's like, okay, I want, how much do I owe you? And I was like, girl, don't worry about it. Right? And she's like, no, this is your job. I'm going to pay you. I want to check in with you. I'm like, for the month. Da, 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 da. Did you see what I'm saying? And I'm not going to tell you the rest of the conversation. She ended up paying me and I'm working with her this month. But my point is that wasn't even, I didn't even get on the phone with her because I was like, oh my God, I need to collect some money from her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
genuinely wanted to help her. She was my client for 3 years. She paid me for 3 years. That is a wow effect. That's a good relationship building. That's customer service at its toppest level, right?
Yeah.
Now let's go into network marketing. I send people free things all the time, little gifts, my VIPs. I have texts. I follow up with them. I send them happy birthday, right? You have to, what is your wow effect for your agency? And you really got to stick to it. And you want to attract those type of clients. I don't want an automated system running my social media. Rachel and I have talked about this all the time. I know there's amazing tools that are out there that can help with stuff. And you can say that there's amazing tools out there that I know how to use. But this is where we stand out. Because we are going to genuinely engage in people in your audience or in your algorithm. Right?
Yeah.
So good, you guys. Oh, haven't forgotten about you. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm so excited, you guys. I hope you guys have some amazing takeaways. Most of this call was recorded, so you'll get that back. I'm actually going to be sharing this on my social, so you can kind of rewatch any of the tips and tricks that I gave you. And it was just so great speaking. I'll see you guys I'm always on the masterminds. Melina, how do you recommend translating that wow effect and VIP service online? Okay, last question. This is a really big one, like social media. So when you're online, and I don't know, Rochelle, what you do, but when you're online, are you talking on your stories? That's a wow. Number one, if you're not talking on your stories, you're not giving no wow effect, right? You own 5 boutiques. So you need to talk about your boutiques. Why do I want to go to your boutique? Right? So like, of course you're gonna like post in your feed, like your sales or your outfits and your whatever, but you should be doing lives to bring a wow effect. You should be showing videos and reels to bring a wow effect. I follow brands of clothing because they bring a wow effect, right? 100%. You know who does a really good job as a boutique or a company? That brand Dylan Lex. Do you know that brand Dylan Lex? They always are going live, piecing things together. It's like, yeah, you can look at their feed and see the jewelry and the fashion and how it whatever, but they're always going live talking about how they're piecing things together. Okay, so you need to show your vibe on your social, and the only way to do that, yeah, style going live. I hope that helped you. Yeah, you got to do that, girl. There you go. That's what I recommend. Awesome, you guys. Well, we're going to wrap it up, and I will see you guys every week in March. I'm going to be on helping Rachel out. I'll be in the sidelines. I'm on every Monday mastermind anyway, but it was so great being here with you. And if you ever need anything, you can email me, melina@themccordlist.com. And then you can follow my social. It's Melina Fitness. I still have like my whole fitness branding going on. I do a lot in the fitness space as well as the network marketing space. And yeah, I hope to see you guys again real soon. Bye.
Recording stopped.
All right, you guys, if you just watched me live, I was on with the McCord List. I was on with Entrepreneur